So the inspiration started for this once we decided we would take this space with the Turkish tile. I had seen that, I thought it was beautiful. Having spent time in this house, I realized that there's such a blend of people that come here. Everywhere they come from different countries, from our country, but of course a mix of culture. So I wanted to start as Turkey. It ended up going a little Moroccan, then we had some Indonesian things brought in, and then I realized that this really was a very, very good blend for this house, because this house represents everyone. And that's how we evolved with our project. So the journey is the journey, and I really feel that most designers are feeling just what I felt last year. And I think that moving forward, the connection from the design community to the Ronald McDonald House is going to stay for a very long time. And I'm honored to be design chair here.
I'm Kim Hendrickson-Radovich. My company is Kimmy Courtney Interiors, and we have created the meditation room. Choosing this space was a perfect fit for me and for my firm. Giving back is so very important, and being able to offer a space to these families where they can just find a little bit of a respite. I wanted to offer families a place where they could just sit, be calm, go within. This room is exactly what we wanted it to be. We did this out of love. For the house that love built. What could be better?
The design inspiration for our space this year actually came out of my individual room last year. Hunt Sloanham, who's a friend of mine and the artist that has produced the wallpaper in our room this year with Kravit, donated a painting to my room last year. And as I was reflecting back on the things that sort of people took note of, so many people have commented on that painting in the space, that when Kravit sort of introduced this wallpaper, or I knew that it was coming out through Hunt, I thought, God, that's a great way to bring something that was really successful last year and just like expand it in a much bigger, more interesting way this year.
Yeah, and the other thing about the bunnies is the colors are actually very modern. They're very saturated, even though you sort of have this traditional feel. The color palette itself is pretty, you know, right now. So it was really fun for us to sort of decide what colors we wanted to pull out, and also had to marry, as Young said, very sort of modern classic design with this sort of more traditional aesthetic.
Well, we have sort of lounge areas, play areas, meeting areas, so we really want families to gather, have a place to come and relax, get their mind off of what they are currently dealing with.
We wanted to have a number of places for people really to connect, and also just a place that was pretty optimistic. And with these colors, I mean, you can't help but feel, you know, pretty inspired and hopeful.
We researched color therapy, and we came across these color healing cards. And this really was our roadmap to the healing quality of the colored lights that you see. For instance, when a family comes in the room and they are stressed out by the day and they're feeling pain, it can be emotional pain or actually physical pain, they would go to the red card. And the red card, it's free yourself from pain. And this room is technologically advanced, where you would go to the screen, which is on the wall here, and you would see the color, you press the color, and then the room is saturated in that color for healing quality.
In the bathroom, we utilized color-changing LEDs in the tub. When it's filled with water, the water will take on whatever color you set it to. Not only that, we've also incorporated aromatherapy. So as the tub suctions air through its system, it blows bubbles into the water, and if you put different essential oils into the system, it will effervesce as it releases the bubbles into the air. So the chromotherapy and aromatherapy, the point behind that was to provide some sort of release for people who are going through a very serious situation, in terms of health, and it gives them an escape and gives their mind and their energy something else to be focused on so that they can get through the healing process that much more effectively.
It's a room of rejuvenation for the family.
My connection to RMH is last year I did a bedroom, and it was such a joyous experience for myself as well as all my subcontractors. So as soon as I found out that they were doing phase 2, I said, I'm in. So we're here this year doing the second floor lounge and hallways, and we're calling it the Jelly Lounge. I really believe color can heal. It's very important to me in using color in my design. I'm known for my color. So as soon as this wallpaper really truly pushed the whole design. There's going to be a reading nook. There's a game nook, which is a great big oversized day bed in a corner with drapes that close so kids can kind of get in there and play a Game Boy. There's a great big lounging area. So it's made for the families to be able to use as a living room, family room, little library in the space, and it's all about the color and the softness of the fabric. It's so exciting, and all the Cravat fabric is just beautiful, and it's all durable. It's all outdoor fabrics or ultra suedes, which are easy to clean. And when you're designing a space like this, it's important to keep that in mind, what it's actually being used for. You can still do great design and have it industrial enough for a space like this.
My inspiration was I wanted to create a space that was truly tranquil. I came in my first time coming into my space. There was a family in here, and the space felt dingy and kind of dirty. And it wasn't dirty. It just didn't feel fresh or clean. I wanted to create a space that was kind of atmospheric and ethereal and clean and just very modern, so that it was easy to maintain, but always looked clean. My color palette really came about from looking outside and seeing the sky, and there's the LIJ hospital, which is right out the window. There are these lights in the window at night that go from fuchsia to different tones of blue, and I just happened to be here one evening when the lights were blue, and I thought, oh my god, that's so beautiful. So I kind of wanted, so during the day we have the sky, and at night we have, every once in a while when the LED lights are working in our favor, this kind of beautiful aqua and teal colored light. My experience has been amazing, and very moving. 2 nights ago I was looking out my window after being exhausted from unpacking stuff, and there's a gate right out my window, and I started seeing these families coming in from the hospital. It was like 6 o'clock, and it was kind of moving, and I saw this father and a mother and a child, and the child was in a wheelchair, and it was really sad and just very moving. And I thought to myself, here I am feeling sorry for myself, saying I'm tired from opening boxes, and people are in this everyday struggle to kind of pull their lives together and get healthy. And you know, it's just, this is the most worthy of all show houses in my opinion, and this place remains and is used for years and years and years to come, and people can benefit from this.
Our design inspiration came really from thinking about how the families interact with the house. And we consulted with a neuroscientist and really wanted to find a way to remove any tension from the room. So our biggest concept came from really taking all the 90-degree angles in the room and softening them. So as people enter, they feel no tension and nothing that can stop them. Janos, you want to elaborate?
Yes, one thing that creates tension usually in spaces is when you have 90-degree corners, and every corner projects tension, and already the families here are really stressed, and we try to create this experience not only to take away the tension, but also to make the room feel like it's not a permanent home. It's somewhere that's fun and exciting, yet it's not a permanent home.
And we wanted the room to, when they entered with all these curves, to almost feel like it was giving them a big hug. So it's very soft and inviting.
My design inspiration was to make the room happy. First and foremost, happy. Because when you smile and you laugh and you're happy, healing really begins. So I wanted it happy, I wanted it positive. I'm all about positive energy and positive thoughts. And I wanted it to be healing and calming, and really create an environment so that when somebody walks in here, they feel like they are being taken care of and that they're loved. So I decided on the color palette. It was very interesting because I found a painting when I was doing design on a dime. And the painting became my inspiration for the entire color palette of the room, and that can be found in the bathroom here in my suite.
There were many design challenges in this space. As you can see, the space is very small, so that was the first challenge. And being able to accommodate the end users of the room, which are the families of sick children that are observant, orthodox and observing, and this is a meat kosher kitchen. We knew that they needed a full-size refrigerator before they had only a small half refrigerator and they didn't have room for all of their food, and also needed them to heat up their food before they used a hot plate that they just kept out on the counter, which I also felt was a fire hazard and dangerous. So we were able to get kosher compliant appliances, meaning that they are on Sabbath mode, which are on timers, which is excellent for the families of this room.
We decided on the black and white color palette right after seeing the black and white gala at the Met in New York City. And we thought it was so fabulous, and then a little bit of aqua just for a water theme, because it's such a tranquil feeling.
The greatest design challenge that we encountered was the different shapes of the windows, as well as the irregular shape of the room, and also the heating and ventilation unit that's right under the larger window.
We had hung this wallpaper, and having not been smart enough to see it in a really big piece, we discovered it definitely makes a statement. We were going to put it in this corner also, and decided last minute too much, and decided to go with the black, which I think worked out very well. I think we're all happy with it.
Great.
It's beautiful.
Keith Baltimore, I'm an interior designer in Long Island, and Kravitz had asked me to do the show house for Ronald McDonald House, which I had no idea what Ronald McDonald House really was all about. And then finding out what these angels do here, I was blown away, and I am totally honored. It is, I tell everybody in my office, I tell all my friends that it is my favorite thing I've ever done. The reason is that we do, you know, as interior designers, we speak a dialogue about what we do and the fashion of it, or the glam of it, or how we do it. But this is an opportunity for me to help people, for maybe get a smile on their face for just a second. That's all I need, and just so that they get 1 second away from the horror that they're going through. And that is the theme of where the room came from. So I did a lot of soul searching. I did a lot of kind of figuring out what, God forbid I was going through something like that, what's the feel that I would want to do. So the idea of being on a yacht, a beautiful luxury yacht, and giving you the warmth and comfort of a beautiful ship at the sea, and knowing that you just docked here for a very short time.
I didn't have a personal experience with a child or by staying here, but when I came into the facility for the first time and I recognized the importance of it, it became very personal to me. The inspiration for the room was based on the architecture. This particular kitchen is very angular in shape and incorporates structural columns and coffers. We wanted to respect the existing conditions and work with them, as we did in the Phase 1 kitchen, which had rounded elements.
I'm Vasi Psalantis. I'm the designer that was selected to design and renovate the kitchen in Project Design 2014 after completing the kitchen in Project Design 2013 last year. Our design inspiration was a continuation of last year's design. We wanted it to feel like a home as opposed to an institutional space. The colors from last year were brought in, but in a different and more fresher way. The experience has been one of the most pleasant designer show houses that I've ever been involved with, from the mutual respect of all the other designers and the people that work here, as well as everyone running this design. Has just been a positive and beautiful experience.
When we first took on this project, we just tried to decide how we were going to approach it, whether it was going to be neutrals or happy colors. We came upon this mural, and it became our inspiration for happiness.
All the colors are derived from the wallpaper. We just wanted something whimsy and fun. We wanted anyone who came to the space to leave with a big smile on their face, which we hope we achieved.
know, the Ronald McDonald House has such an impact, and so it's a fun organization to be involved with, and I think it touches a lot of hearts, and so the support has been awesome.
We actually fell in love with this fabric.
This was our starting point.
We really wanted to create a balance of having it, you know, kind of soft and serene and
be more of a retreat.
More of a retreat in the evenings and afternoons, but then have a little bit of pop and playfulness.
My inspiration for this room was to make it comfortable and calming and soothing. And with everything that I have picked, I've kept the families in my heart who would be staying here. So I wanted it to be very comfortable and also a very pretty space for them to come and retire to, and just place to end the day. So I chose the navy blue and white and magenta coloring.
I'm thrilled to be a part of Project Design 2014, and Beth Green from Kravit actually asked me if I would be a part of this amazing, amazing event. And it's just been incredible coming here during the day and seeing the people and looking at all the different rooms and seeing how creating beautiful spaces for them to come and stay in while they're here is so important. For me, the inspiration of this outdoor living space was sort of to create a getaway, a place where people could come, relax, talk, have conversation areas, and have it feel as comfortable as an indoor living space would. I was really thrilled when Lloyd Flanders committed to give us all this amazing outdoor furniture. And Serena and Lily gave us beautiful textiles and throws and pillows. And we've got amazing, amazing carpeting from Stanton. It's gorgeous outdoor rugs. And they really help bring the space together and make it feel super comfortable.
When we were asked to participate, it seemed like a natural fit for us to join in this wonderful cause. The inspiration started from this beautiful paint that you see on the walls. I want the first feeling to be peace and serenity, hence the name of the room is Serenity, and to feel like they can have a moment to regroup in a very calm place. So our pinup board is an inspirational pinup board. So all the art will be pinned up on this pinup board, and then we're going to leave the supplies here so that families can also leave their inspirational messages or artwork to inspire other families during their difficult times, to give them some cheer.
I'm Tamara Eaton from Tamara Eaton Design. Well, we're not afraid of color. We're also not afraid of having a little fun. I think that's a really important thing to do here. So we've also gotten a lot of artists involved, which is great. A lot of Brooklyn designers really jumped on board and were interested in creating something for the room and the house. Well, this is a permanent house, so you really have to think about the function of it rather than just necessarily how it's going to look. So we thought a lot about how this room is going to look for today, but then also in several years. We don't want it to have the longevity of a photo shoot. We want it to have the longevity so that people can really use this space and appreciate it for a long time.
It's a kosher kitchenette, so I had to meet requirements to make sure it stayed within certain codes for their religious reasons. And this is the dairy, so it's just the sink, a refrigerator, microwave for them to heat things up. But my inspiration was I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be something that the parents understood as well as the kids could be here. So I designed a gearbox that actually spins. It has been just a wonderful experience. I've done other designer show houses, and on this one, the second you say it's for Ronald McDonald, the answer always comes back as yes, of course, we'll donate or we'll contribute or we'll do what we can to make it possible.
So I'm Jennifer Kohler Mason, and I got involved in project design through Karen Rogers at the Lee Joffa showroom, who cornered me one afternoon and told me about Project Design 2014. And after hearing about it, there was absolutely no way that I could say no, and especially to Karen. We really wanted to create a space that was warm and inviting and that would be soothing and envelop you once you came in, not unlike how you would feel in a cocoon. We've tented the entire room. We had an amazing lighting designer create a spectacular light fixture for us. So the lighting is great. It's a bit whimsical, but again, just really, really soothing.
So I'm Kelly Dahl. Kelly Dahl Interior Design. I'm based on Long Island, and I was approached by Kravit, but I've been a resident here. I've had the great fortune and misfortune of being a resident not once but twice here with 2 extremely ill children. And so for me, it wasn't a choice, it was a what do you need? So my design inspiration is really based on the function of what I know, having been a resident, the families need here. I approach this room less as a designer and what I could do to showcase my abilities or that of my firm. And I thought about when I lived here, what I needed, what I had that worked well, what I didn't have, and I brought all that together into a package that I hope also felt good. So one of the things that I missed while I was here was the opportunity to do research really in private in my own room. Both of my children were so severely ill, and although the doctors of course brought us much information, I wanted more and I wanted to know more. And although this house is so good and affords you so much opportunity and everybody works so hard to give you privacy, when I was doing my research and hysterically crying when I saw the statistics and the numbers, I was surrounded by a room full of people, and that didn't feel good for me. So I wanted to make sure that we had a computer in this room so that the parents could do their research. It was also important to me because my children that weren't in the hospital, when they came to visit, they had so much fun downstairs in the lounges and in the playrooms that I couldn't get them to my room. And all I wanted to do was snuggle with them and cuddle with them, and that's hard to do when they're dressing up as Cinderella and playing with 4 other children. So I wanted to lure children back upstairs to their parents' room should their parents want that. So we brought in an Xbox and the Mac desktop and a tent and furniture that has no legs, so they could build forts and really have a lot of play space in the room. So those sort of things. Oh, another thing that we did differently is when I was here, there was 1 chair to sit on. And sometimes my mom would come and visit, or my husband and I would have just a minute together while my parents were taking care of our kid in the hospital, and somebody was always on the bed, which didn't feel good. So in our space we have 4 chairs. 2 are ghost chairs, so they're sort of invisible and don't take up a lot of visual weight, but they're there if you need them. So I kept reminding myself when I was going through what we were going through to breathe. Like, if you could just breathe. You know, it's a hard time what these families are struggling with. There's really nothing harder than managing a child who's so severely ill. So I wanted a room that would remind them, without preaching words, just to breathe. And so not everybody loves the beach, so you don't want to be coastal, and not everybody, you know, is an urban person, so you don't want to go that way. So I just wanted a very neutral but poppy color palette that felt fresh, so that it would just subliminally remind people to breathe.